intense bow echo that will likely, it looks like a little boundary is forming right here, and usually these will turn and ride right along the boundary. So folks in Cape Girardeau, Perryville, Sykeston, if you're in Anna Jonesboro, if you're in Dexter, if you're in Marion, if you are in, let's say, Benton, Illinois, if you are in Du Quoin, Heron, this is headed your way. The Heron Festival going on. Italiana, this is going to be moving into that area in about an hour and 10 minutes, maybe a little sooner if it accelerates. This is an extremely serious situation with very strong winds likely that will cause trees and power lines to snap, will cause high-profile vehicles to possibly be blown off the road, will cause mobile homes to be moved off their foundation possibly. This is like one large, weak tornado that's moving through the area that can cause a significant amount of damage as it moves through the area. So Farmington, look at that wind. Look at that bow. Intense winds moving across Iron County right now and parts of Reynolds County. That is going to be headed right towards the Madison County area. Fredericktown, you are under the gun with this. That area of wind will move towards northern Bullinger County. Scopus, you're under the gun for that. Jackson, you're under the gun for the strongest winds, as well as it will eventually move into Cape Girardeau County. This will not weaken. This is going to continue throughout the evening. Brian, are you seeing anything in the chat room, damage reports, or anything you want to add to what we're discussing right now?
Well, we're continuing to track this Boeing line of thunderstorms now rolling east in southeast Missouri, rather. We are seeing wind gusts approach 70 miles an hour. 70 miles an hour now moving through Iron County, moving into Madison County, Wayne County as well. We are seeing very strong wind, Grant. Let me show you here. Now, this is the Paducah radar site, so this may be a little overdone just a little bit because it's higher in the sky. But some of these velocity suggestions, about 100 miles an hour.
That would be that rear inflow jet.
Yeah, just about a few thousand feet high in the sky, 100 miles an hour. So that translates to about 60 to 70 mile an hour wind gusts. Now approaching Fredericktown, Marquand, Marble Hill, and Piedmont, as well as Greenville. So please take shelter immediately. This is going to do extensive tree damage. This is going to take down some power lines. We're going to continue to track this as it moves to the southeast. At times, that wind could gust up to 100 miles an hour. So again, take your severe weather safety precautions. Fredericktown, Marquand, Farmington, Deloge, Park Hills, Marble Hill, Greenville. You are all in a severe thunderstorm warning until at least 5:30 as this line of intense thunderstorms continues to roll eastward at 50 to 55 miles an hour. So again, take cover immediately. Still watching the Weather Service. Looks like ongoing bow echo. Yeah, strong indications of 60 miles an hour right through here from Farmington all the way down to Piedmont. We have trees down now in Lesterville, Reynolds County. We have trees down reported by local law enforcement. So we will see more of these reports start to flood in as this area, as this thunderstorm moves into a more populated area. So please take cover immediately. Treat this like a tornado warning. This is a very serious situation. We haven't seen a high wind event like this in several years. In several years, we haven't seen a wind event like this one. So please treat it with respect and be sure to go inside and put as many walls between you and the outside as possible. We are seeing very strong indications of 60 to 80 mile per hour wind gusts that will do damage to your windows. Shingles will take down trees, take down power lines. We're talking about some very serious problems right here now moving into southeast Missouri.
Yeah, this is what we were talking about yesterday, about how we knew that it was going to be a serious event and that we would probably be on the air for quite some time, even if we did not have tornado warnings. Now, we do have a few tornado warnings, or we have had a few tornado warnings. We still have one for parts of Iron and Reynolds County, but that storm's moving into Madison County and southern St. Francis County. Folks, this is just an extreme wind event. And whenever we're pegging winds over 100 miles per hour on radar, that is definitely a serious situation. So as we take a look at the winds, you can see we've got a strong indication of a gust front right here. This is coming off the St. Louis radar just a bit, but you see that sharp line of red to green. So it's not rotation, it's just straight line winds, and it is very, very intense straight line winds as we head throughout the bow echo. Moving into the Marquand area, Fredericktown. Here we go. This is again off the This is coming off the Paducah radar site. And again, we have some very strong indications of very strong winds. And of course, my radar, my query tool is not working for some reason on the wind. So I'm just going to have to rely on BMAC as Brian is kind of helping me out with the wind speeds. But you can see very strong winds. That is the gust front. Madison County, we're going to see a lot of folks lose power here shortly. So again, we need to treat this as it was a tornado. This is winds over 80 miles per hour possible, rear inflow jet of 105 mile per hour on this storm, and that tells us that the heavier downpours can transport winds up to 100 miles per hour. That's why the Storm Prediction Center was talking about winds between 70 and 100 miles per hour being likely with this line. So Fredericktown, anywhere along Highway 67 in Madison County, you need to be seeking shelter. You need to be below ground if you can be. Let's be in a basement. If you don't have a basement, get on that interior room, put as many walls between you and the outside. Same thing goes for the folks in Marquand. Gosh, I hope you folks talked about your friends that may be at the Double D campground or any of the campgrounds along the Castor River right now. We've been mentioning that. Get them into safe shelter because this storm is going to cause a significant amount of tree damage. Trees will fall down on campers, on trailers, on houses. Power lines will snap. Power poles will snap. There's going to be a significant impact to us as this moves through, not just these folks in Fredericktown and Marquand, everybody. This is going to probably transfer its energy across most of the area as this continues to move off to the east rather rapidly. Again, we have that tornado warning out, but the tornado threat is over pretty much for Iron County and Reynolds County, but I'm sure you're still getting winds up to 60 miles per hour, especially across northeastern Iron County as you're right in that rear inflow jet to this Bow Echo. The storm near Marble Hill has weakened just a bit, but don't worry about that storm. Don't let your guard down because you've got this moving your way right now. Very intense winds moving towards Marble Hill. Piedmont, your storm's being overtaken by the line right now. So I want to zoom into this area because a lot of times when a supercell merges with a Bow Echo like this, you will get a spin-up tornado. So let's kind of see what's going on just to the west of Greenville, to the east of Piedmont. And again, we don't need to just focus on the possibility of a tornado. This is going to be significant straight line wind damage, and we are seeing no real signs of a tornado in the area around the Piedmont area. So it's going to be significant straight line winds that will continue to move through the area as we head throughout the next few hours. Look at all the severe thunderstorm warnings across parts of southern Illinois, across western Kentucky. We've got another warning that's being issued for parts of western Kentucky and also in the parts of southeast Missouri. We'll zoom into this area with some new warnings because good news, I see that storm that was developing near Malden has weakened significantly, so I'm happy to see that as well. But as I check the sources over here, just trying to see on some information that the Weather Service is saying on these storms. Again, this is headed in towards the Carlisle County area and I think extreme southern Ballard County as I'm looking at it, and also another warning for the Mississippi County, northwestern Mississippi County, and Scott County, just to the north of Sikeston. So these are the two new severe thunderstorm warnings that I'm talking about. And we'll put a scope on these to see if there are any other significant aspects we need to be aware of. Boy, there's some strong winds with that near Arlington, between Arlington and Cunningham, right there in western Kentucky. We're seeing the possibility of some very strong gusty winds and some hail spikes as well in there. So definitely a chance of hail and high winds to the north of Arlington, right between Arlington and Cunningham, right around Highway 62. Very strong gusty winds likely. Sikeston, we're not seeing very strong winds, at least on radar. Probably going to be seeing some dime to quarter size hail. We can see a little hail indication right there moving into southern Scott County. So numerous severe thunderstorm warnings. Again, we're not seeing much in the way of tornado warnings. As a matter of fact, there are no tornado warnings. But just because there are no tornado warnings, we've got a dangerous situation developing, basically a very strong gusty wind event. We've got a boundary that's developing right here. You see, this is the outflow boundary from last night's thunderstorms. If you woke up early this morning, you were awoken to lots of lightning. We had lots of large hail across parts of the southern counties. That sent in an outflow boundary up to the north, and that is this boundary right now. And this will turn and follow that boundary more than likely. So Cape Girardeau, Scott City, Sikeston, Anna, Jonesboro, Perryville, Marble Hill, all these areas are going to be impacted by some very strong gusty winds. Our only saving grace is hopefully Poplar Bluff and maybe Doniphan will just be skipped by this extreme line of storms, as it's not forming very much on the southern end, although I am seeing another very strong storm appears to be developing near the Elsinore area right now in parts of Carter County. So let's zoom in on that. That is on the southern end of this line that's moving through. Again, widespread 70 to 100 mile per hour winds can be expected with this line of storms as it moves through the heartland. We've got a couple of tower cams you can see there behind me. I think that I see one, the upper one is the tower here. I think the other one, is that Sikeston that I'm looking at the bottom? I think that may be Sikeston, I'm not sure. Sikeston, okay. Yeah, there's a significant hail core developing near Elsinore right now. So this storm is rapidly developing as well, and it will get caught up in this entire bow echo that we see here. So very strong gusty winds, the main threat, along with large hail. And we're seeing the possibility of 60 to 80 mile per hour winds moving into Madison County, down towards Wayne County and St. Francis County, and eventually into St. Genevieve County. The severe thunderstorm near Glen Allen has weakened, but let's not worry about that storm, even though there's some lightning and some heavier downpours, because you've got some very strong gusty winds that are headed your way very, very shortly. Other severe storms we're seeing down, again, near the Sikeston area. We're seeing a severe thunderstorm with large hail and very gusty winds to the north of Arlington in western Kentucky. This update on the severe thunderstorm was for the Piedmont area, for Wayne County. You can see that it continues to move off to the east. That warning is in effect until 5. I skipped by it a little too fast. I think until 5:15. But these storms are racing off to the east. Brian, have you got any more information from our newsroom or the Weather Service on any possible damage or any concerns?
We have wind damage reported. We have a lot of electricity out right now. Anna still reporting 788 customers without power. That's according to Ameren. Vienna reporting just over 1,000 customers without power. And Olmsted near the Ohio River reporting 600 outages. So we're talking just over 2,000 power outages across the heartland. And that number is about to go up as this bow echo continues to roll eastward across the heartland. Again, we're watching southeast Missouri very closely for widespread 70 to 100 mile per hour wind gusts. This does include Marble Hill, Perryville, Cape, Scott City, even Poplar Bluff and Dexter. It's going to continue moving to the south and east. We're going to be watching this very closely, but we also have severe thunderstorm warnings there in western Kentucky, from Livingston to Caldwell to Crittenden down to Lyon County. These severe thunderstorms are capable of producing large hail, golf ball sized hail, and damaging wind gusts in excess of 60 to 70 miles an hour as they move to the east at, say, looks like 50 miles an hour. They're moving to the east at 50 miles an hour here, and this severe thunderstorm warning continues for another 25 minutes. It is not going to expire until 5:30. So this is an area we're watching closely for damaging wind and large hail. There's a long history of that as these thunderstorms have raced eastward. These thunderstorms have taken down tree lines and tree limbs, and power lines from Johnson County all the way back toward Union County. We have a lot of outages reported right through here in southern Illinois, along and south of Route 13. These storms are now over western Kentucky and will continue to do damage. Also, the latest word from the National Weather Service, Fredericktown and Marquand in the direct path of strong damaging winds in excess of 60 to 70 miles an hour. So again, it's right overhead right now. So Bollinger County, if you're watching in Bollinger County, you currently have a severe thunderstorm warning for the cell that's overhead right now. But this line of thunderstorms is going to soon overtake this thunderstorm as these winds are about 70 to 80 miles an hour. It's going to be right overhead. We are expecting extensive tree damage We're expecting power lines to go down. There's going to be some wind damage as far as car windows, windows to your home. Those are going to get blown out if you're in the direct path of these thunderstorms. So again, a blanket severe thunderstorm warning in effect until 5:30 from St. Francis to St. Genevieve County, Madison, Wayne County. Again, this severe thunderstorm warning in effect until 5:30. This line of thunderstorms moving east at 50 miles an hour. Also watching this cluster of thunderstorms in western Kentucky. Those are in effect until 5:30 as well for the threat of large hail and damaging straight line wind.
All right, Brian, thanks for that information. I was just able to check up on the condition of our watch, and it appears as though the Storm Prediction Center is about to upgrade the severe thunderstorm watch to a particularly dangerous severe thunderstorm watch, and it'll be out until 9 o'clock. So the original severe thunderstorm watch is being replaced with a particularly dangerous situation, or a PDS severe thunderstorm watch. That rarely ever happens. We see more PDS tornado watches than severe thunderstorm watches, and it is because we are anticipating widespread 70 to 100 mile per hour winds with this bow echo as it moves across the area, and this is a textbook setup for this type of event. There is a boundary that is setting up. You can see the storms along the boundary. We've got a bow echo that's going to ride right along the boundary. An amazing amount of energy south of the boundary. It is so warm and humid down here, so much instability available for storms, and it is feeding right into this bow echo. So this is going to continue to move off to the east and eventually east-southeast throughout the afternoon and evening hours, and we're going to see winds at times up to 100 miles per hour across a good bit of the area. So let me break that down for you. What's that going to mean for you? We're going to see numerous power outages. We're going to see power poles that get snapped. There will be areas